you. Before starting your makeup, always make sure that your face is very clean. Then you can tone your face and carry on your regular skincare routine. Make sure that you're always moisturized. Moisturize with a proper moisturizer no matter what your skin type is. You can go for Cetaphil moisturizing cream or any oil that suits your skin. My favorite oil is from Nivea. You can use any moisturizer, but make sure that you are moisturized. Here I'm using Cetaphil moisturizer all over my skin and very gently applying it. Say hi to my dog. Also very gently patting it into my skin. After your moisturizer comes primer. Primers are meant for smoothing out the surface of your skin so that the foundation glides on really nicely onto your skin. When I was a beginner, I opted for this Maybelline Baby Skin Primer, and before even this primer, I used my all-time favorite DIY Aloe Vera Gel plus Glycerine. You can also opt for Nivea's aftershave cream, which is really cheap, and the product also very good. You can use that as a primer. I always used aloe vera gel plus glycerine. Taking a drop of glycerine and a drop of aloe vera gel, mixing it on my hands and applying it all over my face. As a beginner, I didn't directly jump into foundations. Before jumping into foundations, I used BB cream. I had used a Revlon BB cream. After finishing that BB cream, my sister bought NYX BB cream, which is also very good. After finishing that NYX BB cream, that was the time when I realized that BB creams were more expensive than foundation, and BB cream provided less coverage than foundation. So what I did was I bought Maybelline Fit Me foundation. If you are a beginner, I would recommend you to buy foundation. Number one, because foundations are cheaper than BB cream. Number two, it gives more coverage than a BB cream. As a beginner, I use Maybelline Fit Me foundation. You can use any other foundation of your choice, which is easily found in Nepal's online stores or Nepal's makeup stores like the brands Milani or LA Girl, which is also cheaper alternatives. Or you can buy any high-end foundation of your choice. But while choosing a foundation, if you are a beginner, I want you to choose dewy foundation instead of a matte finish foundation. Number one, because matte foundations tend to dry a bit faster, by which it might be difficult for you to take your time and blend in. Number two, matte foundations enhances your fine lines and wrinkles. If you want a matte finish, you can always dust in some powder, so dewy foundation is on the go. Now comes foundation application. So if you're a beginner, instead of buying a foundation brush, you might want to buy beauty sponge, and make sure that the beauty sponge that you are buying is of a good brand and not any 20 rupees, 30 rupees or even 100 rupees beauty sponge, because that beauty sponge does nothing but soak up all your foundation and doesn't blend in properly. So you can buy a good brand's beauty sponge like Real Techniques, Essence, Catrice, Miniso, which is a great option if you're looking for something cheap. If you don't want to buy even the beauty sponge, you can always use your fingers. Taking one pump of LA Girl Illuminating Foundation, I'm tapping it all over my skin and not dragging the product. And I'll be using beauty sponge on the next side, and make sure that you are gently tapping it and not dragging the product. As a beginner, you wouldn't be comfortable with using concealer because it really brightens up your under area and the areas where you apply concealer. But you can buy it and use it if you want to, and I'm going to show you how to use it. Just apply a little bit on the inner corner, a little bit here. You can feel the orbital bone. Just apply it on the orbital bone like this. Blend it with your finger. If you have dark circles, then you might want to color correct. To color correct the under eye area, you have to use a red corrector. But if you don't have a red corrector, you can always use your mom's red lipstick. Make sure that you don't apply too much of that corrector. While choosing concealer, make sure that it is creamy and isn't dry because it might be hard to blend later. As a beginner, I used Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer, but you can also buy LA Girl Pro Conceal, which is easily found these days, which is very creamy and good. I also use this NYX concealer palette, which was a bit difficult to blend, but it was fine. You can also use concealer on the highest point of your face, that is on the center of the face, to bring out your features, to enhance your features like the bridge of the nose, cupid's bow, the chin, a little bit on the forehead, and also the cheekbone. But I won't do it right now because as a beginner I didn't do it. I didn't even conceal the under eye because foundation just did fine. To set my foundation and concealer, as a beginner I used compact powder from Rimmel, and later on I switched to RCMA translucent powder. Took a powder brush like this. You can buy a powder brush in any makeup store.
Yeah, you can also use blender to apply powder like that.
Now let's move on to eyebrows. As a beginner, I didn't do my eyebrows because it was already fuller and bushy, and if I overdid it, I would look like a ghost.
I'm using Essence Brow Gel to set my brows, but you can use non-toxic glue instead of that.
Now let's move on to bronzing. Bronzing, which is also sometimes called contouring, is not exactly contouring but does the job of contouring, is the opposite of concealer. Concealer is used for lightening the under eye area, the center of the face, whereas a bronzer or a contour is used for giving definition to the face, like defining the cheekbones, defining the nose, and so on. If you are a beginner, I would suggest you not to use a cream contour but go for a bronzer instead. So you can opt for this Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer, which is quite cheap.
I'm using the same powder brush to apply bronzer on the cheekbones and a little bit on the sides of my nose as well. No need to buy another bronzer brush, and then I'll be applying blush with a pink lipstick and just gently dabbing it with my fingers, and on the other side I'll be using a powder blush with the same powder brush that I used before.
Let's move on to eye makeup. As a beginner, you can do a very basic simple eye makeup and you would be needing only 2 brushes.
The purple one is called the fluffy blending brush, which will be used to blend the eyeshadow, and the smaller one is used for lower lash line. Grab any eyeshadow that is lying around in your house, that can be any color, blue, green, yellow, whatever color you want. Pick it up with your finger and apply it all over the lids like that. Now take that blending brush, take your same bronzer that you used before and start applying it on the outer corner of the eye in a circular motion very gently. Also, swipe the color on your crease like that. And you're done! If you don't know how to apply eyeliner, then you can take a black kajal, apply it on your upper waterline, and if you want to add liquid liner, you can do so, and here I'm using tape to create that wing. On the lower waterline, I'm applying a nude kajal that will make my eyes look bigger. Now taking that smaller brush, I'm taking the same bronzer and applying it on my lower lash line as close to the lash line as possible.
Now let's move on to highlight. I used e.l.f.'s Baked Highlighter in Moonlight. You can use your fingers. Take a little bit. Just move your head a little bit. Right where it shines naturally, you would want to enhance that shine. We're done with everything except lips. If you want your lips to be more defined, you want to apply the lipstick perfectly, then you will need a lip liner. So this was the beginner's makeup. I hope you learned something. Share it with your friends who have trouble in applying makeup, and I hope you try this makeup too. Comment anything, whatever you feel, and stay subscribed to my channel to see more of these contents which are informative and fun. Like if you liked, and dislike if you didn't, and keep coming back. Thank you so much for watching.